So is 2021 going to be the best year of MMORPGs in, let's say, about a decade? Let's jump into it, guys. So I was thinking about this topic probably the past few days on looking what's been launched and what's about to launch in 2021. And I thought about, man, since I felt like MMOs started to decline for the genre. And so I want to jump and do some research in the past 10 years or so and kind of talk about it. So I kind of want to go through the history of, I'm going to start at 2010. So it's going to be actually 11 years ago and kind of start there and kind of go from there down. Because I think before then, the MMO community was much more healthy. I think we started a slight decline then, and then probably the past 5 years, it just kind of hit rock bottom. So let's kind of jump into this, guys. Let me go through like these years, these kind of refresh the memory of what's happened. I'm gonna touch on the bigger games, what I consider the bigger games, or the bigger hype games, even if they failed. And this may not be your favorite game. You may have find games on this list that you like better and that you really enjoyed. So I apologize in advance. I'm gonna try to touch on the highlights the best I know how. But let's jump into 2010, guys. Kind of felt like started maybe the decline. So we start with 2010. I think there's probably three kind of hyped MMOs going in there. Yeah, Star Trek Online, a pretty big IP in Star Trek, launched. Then we have Mortal Online, which was kind of going to be, Mortal Online 2 is in development right now. It's kind of is in development. This game, I don't think quite reached the potential it was supposed to, but there was people that enjoyed it. And then we had Final Fantasy 14. Now, this is not the Realm Reborn that is currently very popular. It launched, and then this game completely failed, and it shut down in November of 2012. So if you look at this 2010, there really wasn't a good MMO launch. I mean, there's people that enjoy Star Trek. Some people enjoy this, but let's face it, this was not a great year for MMOs, 2010. So it started declining here a little bit. 2011 actually was a solid year. So it picked back up a little in 2011. May not be the best. We had DC Universe Online launch. We had Rift. A lot of people loved Rift. Some people have told me this is their favorite MMO of all time. So a lot of people loved it. I enjoyed Rift. And then we had, I think, one of the most hyped MMOs in history. And that is Star Wars The Old Republic. This game was so hyped. I think this is one of the only games you could have put the tag on. Could it be a WoW killer? They used to put WoW killer on every single game. So dumb, so overrated term. But if you're talking about the IP of this, the money they're putting in this, it had a chance to be so big, and it just never really lived up to the expectations. And of course, Star Wars Galaxy closed down, very beloved MMO, the same month. And I think this is the reason why. A lot of people expecting Star Wars Old Republic to be Star Wars Galaxy 2.0. Not even close. So here we go into the next year. 2012, guys. A little bit worse, but there were still some solid MMOs out, man. Yeah, Terra launched. A lot of people love this combat. Secret World, which is a unique concept. If you remember this game, the Secret World, very unique concept for MMO. Funcom. I think Funcom, they're willing to take some risks sometimes, especially in the past. They took a risk with like Age of Conan's combat system, with the arrows and directional hits in the MMO. So they're willing to take a little bit of risk. Very risky with this game. And then Guild Wars 2, who's still got a very good population right now. Very successful MMO. Just like the first Guild Wars. So this wasn't too bad of a year. And this is a pretty good size MMO right here, guys. Guild Wars 2. So not a horrible year. Now we're going to jump into 2013. And you can call this a great year, a shitty year, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a one MMO year. And that is, yes, Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn. So this is the second biggest MMO right now in the world. I'm not saying the world, but definitely in the West, behind WoW. Very successful, obviously, massive player base. So, but there was only one. I mean, there were other games, Age of Wuxi. I know people that played this and enjoyed it. Neverwinter, I know people that played this and enjoyed it. But really, I don't think a great year, but I can't say it's horrible because you do have that blockbuster in Final Fantasy. This is kind of a big negative. Warhammer Online closed down. Great potential, just never quite lived up to the hype. Now we got 2014, guys. Let's move on. Big MMO here. ESO, massive MMO. I think, I don't know, probably in the West, probably the third or fourth biggest MMO out there right now. I mean, probably Black Desert and ESO, maybe the third and fourth. So very successful. WildStar, ex-Blizz developers, massive hype. A lot of people loved it, but didn't quite have the longevity that people wanted. I didn't play much of it, so I don't know all the problems with the game. And you had Arcade, had some hype behind it. Of course, it failed. Of course, there's people that may have enjoyed Arcade, so if you did, I apologize, but it was not much of a success, and that's why they had to relaunch it later. Then we move on to 2015, guys. What a horrible year. This is where the big downfall. So it started dropping 2010 to 2014. And from 2015 on, you're about to see it is a disaster, guys. What happened here? Nothing. We had Trove and Skyforge, I think it's Cabal, is how you pronounce it, to launch. I mean, really, basically what you had, buy to play. So I think it may have stopped the sub base, I think. Free to play, WildStar goes free to play. The biggest thing of this year, the whole year, was consoles get ESO. That was the biggest thing of the whole 2015, I mean. 2015, the biggest announcement was Elder Scrolls goes on console. That's horrible. 2016, you got Blade and Soul goes west. I'm guessing this had a bigger audience in the East than does the Western audience. And then we did have a big MMO, Black Desert. Very successful. A lot of people love it. A lot of people love the combat. But still, not a great year, guys. Not a great year either, man. So we kind of move on. We're at 2017 now, guys. Another crappy year. Another bad year. We had Albion Online, which is, I think, it's a niche, kind of a niche game somewhat. I think it's full loot. But it is successful, though. It does have a player base. So this is a success right here. Albion Online. And that's basically it, guys. I mean, really? I mean, do you want to put Secret Wars Legends on? No, it wasn't a big success. I mean, Destiny 2. I mean, that's not... I'm talking about more fantasy MMOs. MMORPGs. So really not much, man. This is about it, guys. 2018, man. Garbage year. The most hyped MMO. The most hyped MMORPG is... Dun, dun, dun. It is... Where's it at? Bless Online. How bad is that, guys? Bless Online was the most hyped MMO that year. Complete disaster failure. That's what we had. Think about this. So in the previous 3 years, all we've had is basically Albion Online. That's a success. 3 years in a row. 2019. The biggest MMO? WoW Classic. Nothing else, guys. Nothing else. Nothing. I mean, Arcade Unchained releases, I guess. WoW Classic is the big thing. 4 years in a row, complete garbage, and in the MMO genre. You know? Well, I mean, you got Black Desert, basically, in 4 years. 4 years, you basically got Black Desert in the West. Now, 2020, this is the worst year. Last year was the worst year in MMO history, period. The big MMO... I mean, look at this, guys. Look how small this list is. Phantasy Star Online 2. I think that was in like Korea or somewhere, Asia, for like 8 years or something before it came over west. And then this year, Phantasy Star New Genesis launched. Horrible year. Bless Unleashed. Wow, it launched on Xbox. Not a fun game. Really, how bad is 2020? So now we come to 2021. You've seen how bad the past few years are. And it started, I think, in about 2010, the downfall. So the past 11 years. So here's why I'm a little optimistic. So I started thinking about this. After I downloaded and played Aeon Classic a few days ago. It launched Wednesday. And anybody can download and play the kind of a free trial right now. And I think right now you may get the full free version, even with like the sub benefits, I think through the 29th. Don't quote me on that, but it's I'm actually having a blast with the game. And I realized after playing that game that I didn't give it much of a shot back then. I was caught up in the other MMOs, but I played it and I was like, oh, this is kind of blah. It's not as fun as the one I'm playing. I realized how spoiled we were back then. And this game launched in 2009, Aeon Classic. And now I'm playing this. I'm like, wow, this is the best MMO launch I played. My favorite MMO launch in like 7 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it looks very dated. It looks dated, but it launched in 2009. There's no way it can look like a 2021 game. So that's what made me start thinking about this subject. We've already had this launch, guys, in 2021. And there are a lot of people loving this game right now. I've had several people say they're really enjoying it. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Crowfall's going to launch. I don't think that's going to be a big success, but it's another MMO for people to play. But again, I think it's going to fall like some of the other MMOs. That's just not going to be that successful. I'm going to skip over the big one right here. And then we get Final Fantasy. A lot of people recently have left WoW for Final Fantasy. I've been reading that right and left and hearing people talk about it. So I think those people that just left for the past few months, they're getting in before the next big expansion. Great time to get in the game. And yeah, it's kind of good news for the MMO genre. Then we're going to kind of move down. Lost Ark. This game is going to be a success. I played this on the Russia server. It's already been out 2 years. It's already going to be pretty much polished. They just got to localize it and get it out. It's going to be out this year without question. It's an excellent, excellent game. The one benefit it's going to have people that love like the Path of Exile, Diablo style games. That player base they're going to be able to grab from, and then they're going to be able to grab from the MMORPG crowd. So they got two genres to grab from and pull from. I don't think they get all of either really, or massive either. But if they get enough from this side, this is a pretty good success. And I think that's what they're going to do because it is a high quality game. I've played it for 2 months. The combat is excellent. So I have no doubt this is going to be a success. Or I'd be shocked if it's not. And it's not going to have Final Fantasy numbers. I'm not saying that, but it's success and a player base. That's what I'm saying. Then we're looking at Guild Wars 2's got their next expansion. I think. I haven't really followed the Guild Wars 2 too much lately. Elion is going to be out this year. Core Punk still supposed to launch this year. Dual Universe, I don't know much about this game, honestly. So I apologize for that. Blue Protocol, I think still they're trying to get it launched this year. But who knows if it will. Until we get closer, I don't know if it's going to make it this year. But Blue Protocol looks very promising, and it's got a chance maybe by the end of the year. Another game that is launching that's not on this list is Swords and Legends Online, which is launching July 9th. They've already done a couple betas. I played it. It's a solid game. It don't amaze me, but there are people I know that love the game in the beta. So that is another one that is going to be launching in the West in a couple weeks. And let's go back to the big one, guys. This is the biggest IP of the year, New World. Now, New World did the twist, and they changed on how they were going to make the game. As we know, if you follow the game, they were kind of survival, PvP. I think they may have been full loop PvP at the beginning. And now they're going more traditional. I think this is the correct decision, and I know people are going to kill me in the comments probably, but I think for a player base, this is the correct decision. This game will have a massive population at launch. No ifs, ands, buts. I will argue, and you will see, it will have a massive population at launch. That population can drop 80% in a month. Depends on how well received the game is. Every MMO has a pretty good drop in population after a month or two because some people just don't like the game. But then you got to level it out and then slowly trickle in new players and keep adding content. They've added in dungeons, which was a must for this game. I think going Holy Trinity for dungeons and stuff like that is a positive, guys. Some people don't like it. I think it is a positive. They are gonna have PvP. Still gonna have PvP. People act like there's no PvP in the game more. There's still a decent amount of PvP in this game, guys. That's crazy that people say that. They got housing. They're adding more quests. I think the game will be a success. I think this game's important for the genre, guys. Even if you are mad the direction this new world has changed, I think you have to want this game to succeed. It is very important for us to have another successful MMO in the West, especially a West-oriented MMO instead of something like Lost Ark that was in like Korea and Russia and stuff like that, and then brought over. But a game really made more specifically for the Western audience. We need one to be successful, so some developers and companies will start investing back in this genre. They've been investing. I felt like it left the MMO genre and went to survival games, and then went to the battle royale. Those games are way cheaper to make than MMOs, but so they have to. We need success, so they're willing to take the risk and the investment from a money standpoint to invest in MMOs. And yeah, we need this game really to be a big success, guys. But this is what I think. So we're looking at. I mean, if you look at this, guys, we got some MMOs launching. This launch, I know it's not a new MMO. Final Fantasy Star Profile's coming. New World's coming. We got the expansion of massive number 2 MMO in the West. Lost Ark. Another expansion of probably the 5th or 6th biggest MMO in the West. This is still supposed to come this year. Elion's going to be out this year. Who knows about Blue Protocol? We got Swords and Legends Online coming out as well. Guys, we have several MMOs, and we still got some in development that's probably not going to make it this year, like Project Barbecue and TL Origin. But how many is that, guys? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Swords and Legends Online. 7 MMOs that should make it here. Blue Protocol, I'm not including. Dual Universe, I apologize. I don't know enough about this game to talk about it. And I'm probably missing a couple MMOs out there as well. So I apologize. But this is, guys, we should have 7 MMOs. If one of them drop off and don't make it, minimum 5. In basically almost 8 months. So I think this is without question, since I say 2014, the best MMO year since 2014. And I think it's probably since 2009, 10, somewhere in that range. So yeah, I think this has got a chance to be the best MMORPG year in a decade. Definitely has a chance. It depends on the success on a couple of these games, like a New World. I think New World has to be a big hit. And I think this needs to overachieve a little bit Lost Ark in player base. The game is high quality, without question. Very high quality. But that, guys, that's basically, I kind of want to talk about this. So tell me your thoughts on it. Do you think that we will finally finish this year with a good MMO year? Or do you think it's just going to be flop after flop? You know, which could happen. But if we can get 2 of these to be hit on the way out, I think we can consider this a successful year, because we haven't had 2 hits in a while. It's been a long time. And it's been a long time since we've had 2 successful kind of MMOs in the same year. So tell me what you think. Comment below, guys. If you stuck around, guys, I greatly appreciate it. I know it's kind of a long video. I kind of want to go over the history of what's happened the past 10 years with the MMOs a little bit, and condense it without going into each game too much in detail, and talk about what's happening this year. Guys, if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe. Guys, also, I do stream on Twitch. I'll put my Twitch link below. Come hang out. I'm playing Aeon Classic right now. That's what I'm streaming. And then I'll be streaming, of course, New World Beta and stuff like that when that's next month as well. Guys, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. I'm out.